Hello beautiful ones, how are you all doing? I hope you're all okay. I'm back from work, so I thought what better way to spend my early evening than to do a quick impromptu video with you guys on how to apply bronzer in the correct way. Sounds like something you want to find out more about, or you need. Stay tuned. Before we dive in, beautiful ones, I've got to show you one of my latest purchases, which is this. 6 beauty blenders, 5 medium-sized ones and 1 extra large one for neck, body, shoulders, décolleté and all of that. This was £3.09. Probably because it's just rubber, it's just foam rubber and shaped like an egg. But and without the name beauty blender on it anywhere, apart from that. I get that says beauty blenders, although I'm sure the name is trademarked now, but they've got around it somehow anyway. £3.09. We'll see how good they are or how good they aren't in a minute, won't we? And another quick tip for you guys is to hold on to if you do go and buy the 6 beauty blenders, hold on to the plastic top thing, because when you wash them, they're quite awkward to place in the bath and what have you. Just pop it on one of those little indentations and let it dry out. 24 hours later, your makeup your beauty blender will be as good as new, or it's not as good as new in my case. But anyway, so that's one of them. They come in 4 or 5 different colours. They are incredibly soft and they do feel very, very good quality. They do. Some of them are pretty hard. The cheaper ones tend to be quite dense and a little bit thick and a little bit cheap feeling. These feel really expensive. They don't smell of anything apart from that very slight latexy sort of smell. But shall I stop doing that immediately? Because that's not doing any good to anyone, is it really? No, I get that. So should we get some of this foundation on my face? Today I'm going to be using the E.L.F. Halo Glow Skin Tint in shade Fair Cool. Light Cool, I should say. I'm lying to you. And this was £18 from Superdrug, so quite expensive really for E.L.F. In my opinion. I'm just going to put this on the ground, on the floor as it goes. So I've just soaked that in some water. You can see that my thumb's soaking wet. It does say on the instructions to shake it really, really, really well. So I'll give that a good shake for the next half an hour show. No, the next few seconds, and then it says to apply 5 drops. It doesn't say to apply those 5 drops directly onto your face, so I'll put them on the back of my horribly sun-damaged, freckly, sun-spotted old hand, shall I? I haven't got anywhere else to put it, have I? Unless I've got a mirror or something over here I could use as a palette, but I think that's a little bit pretentious, really. Don't you think that's ever so pretentious, guys? I do. So right, let's get 5 drops of this on. I haven't tried this before, so 5 drops, wasn't it? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. That's a lot. This is a skin tint, so it won't be as full of coverage as a foundation. But sponge is soaking wet, so we'll just apply that on the sponge. Just get as much of that on as possible. Can you see all of that? And let's just go in here. There's no smell to this skin tint as such. Other than, I can't tell whether it's the latex smelling or the skin tint, but it doesn't matter, guys, does it? It doesn't stink of perfume, so that's one big benefit. And because I'm using a soaked sponge as opposed to just a damp sponge, this will take a little bit longer to dry, but the results should be phenomenal. Helps if you actually get the right side of the sponge with the makeup on it the right way round, as opposed to just smearing a soaked sponge across your chops, which doesn't do any good to anyone really, does it, guys? It doesn't. So. Anyway, I hope you're all okay, beautiful ones. Yeah, I just felt that it was time that I did a makeup tutorial. I am a qualified makeup artist after all. Did an online course 3 years ago, is it now? I can't remember. Long time ago anyway. And everything they taught me, I ignored. No, I didn't. I'm joking. No, I didn't. Let's just have a quick look at that. So, why am I showing you a filthy old sponge? Pop that back in the... And as I'm sure many of you out there know, I do like a very, very, very natural look. Still a little bit on the damp side, but there's no hardly any coverage to that at all, is there? It has just evened my skin tone out, which is what we need for the next phase. Let's move on. I'm just going to apply some of that without the sponge just to see, because it's just totally disappeared into my face, hasn't it? Just to check colour match, so on and so forth. This comes in 16 shades, I think. I told you it was £18, didn't I? Nearly dropped dead when I was in Superdrug. I've been waiting for it to come out ever since I saw the adverts on Facebook for this this new tint. It's part of the Halo range, Halo Glow range, I should say. And I kept going into Hereford Superdrug to see when it would be in, if it was in, and it never really was. And then one day I went in there and it was in there, so I got it. It's a little bit too much on the old nose, but doesn't matter, guys, does it? I'm just trying to create a canvas for the bronzer, because I know many of you will apply this onto a ton of foundation. Will apply bronzer onto a ton of foundation. Each to their own, isn't it? Yeah. So this is an application using fingers on the right hand side of my face, which will appear left to you guys. But let's have a look. It still looks very natural, doesn't it? A little bit mask-like. I don't think I could get away with wearing this. I watched a few reviews on the E.L.F. Halo Skin Tint, and people do actually comment on how thick a coverage it is. So really it's somewhere between a skin tint and a foundation, I suppose. But yeah, very good colour match though, isn't it? Okay, I'm digressing massively. So onto bronzer. Bronzers basically come in two different forms, or three forms, I should say. So they either come in powders, creams, or sticks. And today we're going to be using this, which is a 17 Melting Cream Bronzer. This is in shade Toffee Glow. If you want to use a powder, you can use a powder. However, if you can use a powders are more suited to an oilier skin. Creams are more suited to a drier skin, simply by virtue of the fact that they are quite hydrating, and a cream won't cling to flakes and stuff as much as powders will. Having said that, always exfoliate your skin on a daily basis using something like the Blackhead Clearing Lotion, of which there is a video on this channel. Today I'm going to be using the I've already said, haven't I? Right, getting boring now. And you'll need a brush as well. So this is just an angled contour brush. First of all, I'll show you what I see on YouTube, shall I? Which is people using way too much and applying it directly from the from the pan or the cassette, and they get loads of this on. And I think that the whole idea behind bronzer is not to sculpt the face. That's the job of contour. Bronzer is just to add a little bit of warmth to the skin, to bring back life to your skin after you've applied foundation, or if you don't want to wear foundation like I don't, then do you know what I'm saying, guys? So this is what I see on YouTube constantly. People just walloping it on willy-nilly. For some reason they always think that they've got to apply loads and loads of bronze all over their chops, and there's just no need for it, guys, because you'll see in a minute how unnatural this looks, especially if you go and then put a great big line of contour. Contours are far cooler in tone, because it's supposed to emulate shadows. We're trying to emulate a suntan or a sun-kissed glow here via using the bronzer. But I mean, that doesn't look too bad actually, because luckily the shade is quite a pale sort of shade, but I see people wearing great big dark swathes, strips of brown here, all over their faces. So that's not what we're doing here today, guys. We're not. So that's the wrong way of how to apply. Can you see I've brought it all the way down onto my cheek as well, directly below my eye. That's a big no-no too. So this time what we will do is we'll put some of this onto the back of my hand. So I'm going to do the left-hand side now, which will appear right to you. You can still gather up with a brush, beautiful ones. There's no laws or rules to makeup, is there? Just play around with this stuff. This time, however, I'm going to just remove the bulk of it from the brush, because you want to start with very small, fine layers. Once you've got a minimal amount of the product on your brush, you're going to start around about here, just where the ear meets the face. Obviously not directly there, because there is hair there. Just start it as soon as your skin starts, and we're just going to pat it on. And start building the colour up very, very slowly, beautiful ones. Bring it forwards a little bit. And if you can imagine a shape of a 3 here. So the top part of a 3 we're going to bring up onto the temple and into the hairline too. And then with the rest, we're going to bring it down under the jaw. Which is, I get that's where some people put contour, though, if you're going to do that, put your contour on first and then just go in with some of this afterwards, because it will just warm the whole thing up a little bit if you want a warm sun-kissed look to the skin. So let's just carry on doing that. I get that I'm bringing it pretty close to below my eye, although nowhere near as close as that one. I've used way too much of an eye. I'm telling you just to go with a lighter hand, and yet he's gone and put loads of this stuff on. Work it into your ears and anywhere the sun would hit, basically, guys. Just bring it onto the nose too, because of course the sun does hit your nose, especially if you've got a huge, great big schnufter like I have. How's that looking? Can you see the difference? Possibly, possibly not. Enjoyed today's tutorial, guys. If you like this video, please don't forget to give it a thumbs up. Similarly, please consider subscribing. It helps the channel grow. All that remains is for me to wish you guys a beautiful Tuesday. Have a wonderful week, and I'll see you all again for the next tutorial.